Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's been a while since I posted a video, and I know I promised y'all I would post. So today, what I'm going to be talking about is the best soldier, best NCO or NCO of the year, soldier of the year competition. So I was selected for that, and I competed in that, and I did well. I finished in second place, which I like to say, and which others have been saying actually, which made me start saying it now too, that I'm like the second best soldier in the state. So so I take that. That's like my title for the year. Not number one. I could have been number one. I almost was number one, but it's all right. Things happened. But I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what the competition was, and I'm sure other states, their competition is a little bit different, I'm sure. But I'm going to give you a rundown of what it was for the Pennsylvania National Guard. So, it was a 5-day event, right? But the first 2 days were training days, or train-up days. And then the last 3 were the actual competition days, right? So, on Tuesday, I showed up. I think it was at like 1000 or something like that. Showed up, checked in. I was given a Best Warrior patch, which I put on this shoulder, which made everybody know that, okay, I was competing. And it was roughly 6 of us. Six soldiers, E4 and below, that were competing for Best Warrior. And there were 6 NCOs which were competing, 6 NCOs from E5 to E7 that were competing for NCO of the year. And then there were Lithuanians competing as well, and some other NCOs, E5 to E7, which were competing for, I forgot their specific, what it was called, but they were competing as well, right? So it was like, there was a total of, I believe, 18 of us total who were competing in all the different events. Of course, all structured. So I'm not competing against NCOs. I'm only, sorry, this truck, man. I'm not competing against NCOs. I'm only competing against the E1s through the E4s, which, like I told you, was 6 of us. All right. So that first day was just kind of admin stuff, checking in, and then we did a little class on the PMI class on marksmanship. So everybody went over, how to fire a M4, because for the competition we shot an M4, we shot the M17, with the pistol, and we shot the shotgun. So we shot those 3 weapons in the competition, and then we did that class after getting briefed in about what the days were going to look like. And then we did the class later on that afternoon. That day 2 now was kind of the same thing. It was a lot of training. Was train-up days. I think we went to the obstacle course. To make sure everybody kind of knew how to climb a rope, understand what would make you a no-go for, or what would be an additional time if you messed up on the event. And those little structures like that you needed to know for each event. So for the old course, and then I think we actually went to the EST on that second day. We did EST, same thing with the M4s, and we shot the M4 at the EST range as well as the M17. And if you don't know what EST is, it's a simulator training where you shoot like a weapon. In fact, I actually have a video of me doing EST from a while ago. It's on my page. So if you don't have any idea what it is, go ahead and check it out. All right, and then so later on that day, that second train up day, we ended up going to Texas Roadhouse and getting like a free dinner, and it was cool. There were other customers in there. They announced that we were all competing in the best soldier, best warrior competition, and you know, we got a free meal. We got a lot of claps and stuff like that, and it was cool. And then we went home, and went back to the barracks, and the following day we woke up to actually start the competition. What I forgot was the first day as well, that first train up day, we did land nav. So we did land nav at the practice as well. And yeah, so all that. All right, competition day now, right? First day. I think wake up was at like 05 for us to go do the AFT, which I did well. I PR'd on my AFT. You know, I've gotten better ever since. But, you know, if you don't know what the AFT, you should know what an AFT is if you're watching this video, I believe. And you're trying to... I'm making this video to kind of prepare you because I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what to expect. So, most likely you're going to do the fitness test, right? So, AFT. You know, you have the... maximum deadlift, 3 rep max deadlift. Then we did the push-ups, did sprint, drag, carry, plank, and then we did the 2 mile. Right after that, we conducted personal hygiene. Then we were bussed over to get our lunch for the day. Not our lunch, our breakfast. So after breakfast, we went to the range and we began shooting. We were given 30 rounds to 0, and whether or not, and you had to 0 yourself, right? There wasn't anybody helping you to 0. You had to do it yourself. Cool. 0'd, even if it wasn't perfect, oh well, you had to shoot. All right. So whatever, I 0'd. It wasn't the best, but it was what it was. Right after you 0'd, we went to the qualification range. You only had 1 go, right? Given those 40 rounds, whatever you shot is what you got. So I ended up shooting pretty well. I got a 33. I was told that I actually shot the best for the whole day. So I shot a 33. So after that, we went to the pistol call range. First, I learned it was my first time shooting the M17 pistol. So what I learned was it's not a zeroing range. It's actually just a grouping range for you to, I guess, to kind of get familiar with where you're shooting and how it looks in terms of grouping sizes, making sure that you're shooting consistently each time. So we did that. I forgot how much rounds. Maybe it was like 20 rounds, I think, maybe. Like 4 targets, 5 in each. I think it was something like that. All right. Right after that, we went to the actual qualification now for the M17 pistol. I think I shot a 25 out of 30. It was my first time doing it. I did well compared to a lot of the other guys. I finished first in that event. So, and then after all of that was done, we went back to the headquarters building, and we did a written exam. The written exam was on basic Army knowledge, history, like stuff that you should know, like your chain of command, when the Army was founded, what are the 5 paragraphs in the op-ord, those questions like that certain soldiers should know. I guess at my rank and below, we should kind of know. Those were the questions. For the NCOs, they had harder questions because they're NCOs. They should know more. So it was different for them. So for lower enlisted, it was a different set of questions. For NCOs and above, well, just NCOs, it was different types of questions. Some of them did overlap, but majority of them were different. All right. So after we did that, we ate, and then we went back to the barracks and settled down for the night. So that whole day was It wasn't bad. I think it was still a pretty long day. Like, we weren't done, so like I said, I think wake up was at like 05, and then we didn't finish the day until, I would say, like 2000 or so, or even like 2100. So we just showered because we had another early morning the next day. So the next day was the most physically demanding day. Day 2, we had the obstacle course, a mystery event, and then a 12-mile rub. I don't remember what time wake up was for the obstacle course, but I crushed the obstacle course. I had the second best time overall between NCOs and just regular enlisted soldiers. I got my time for doing the whole obstacle course, I think, was like with either 5 minutes and 45 seconds or 6 minutes and 45 seconds. It was something like that. But I did crush my competition. After that, we went to the mystery event. What the mystery event included was we had to shoot the grenade launcher, and we had to shoot it with our gas mask on. We were in full kit also. We had either a flick or IOTV, ACH helmet, and everything, blouse, everything, boots, whatever, everything. Oh, I forgot this as well, I'm sorry. On the first day, the first train up day, they made us go over like medical stuff, medical lane, and how to set up a radio and all that type of stuff, because we needed to know those type of stuff. So how to conduct TCCC, which is tactical casualty combat care. And how to set up a radio, a SINCAR radio. All right. So next event was for the second day. For the second competition day. Now we're on to the mystery event. So yeah, like I said, we shot the grenade launcher. Had to shoot it with the gas mask on. Put the gas mask back on. This is all timed. A lot of the events are timed events and physical demanding events. Not only physical though, like some of that was mental, but after we shot, we had to name what round was what. It was like a bunch of mortar rounds that they gave us a piece of paper to study, and we had to try to identify what round was what on the table. After that, we had to run like maybe quarter of a mile to a M4 range. At the M4 range, you had to shoot and clear the malfunction correctly. There was 3 M4s. There were 3 malfunctions, so you would shoot, try to engage the target. Then the weapon would jam or whatever it would be. You would try to clear the weapon, fix the malfunction, and engage the target again, and then put the weapon back on the table safely. It was pretty easy for me. Some people failed it, I heard, but it was easy for me. After that, remember, this is all still in full kit. Had to run like another... So, we basically ran in full kit, they said roughly a mile or so. Once I finished that run, we got to the bottom of like this lake, or where this lake was. We are told, and imagine you're trying to catch your breath. You're told, okay, you have to drag this 100-pound sled that simulates a casualty 100 meters to where the lake begins. Once you got there to the bottom of the lake with the casualty, you would have to apply a tourniquet to the spot where the casualty was or had trouble or whatever. So I applied the tourniquet. So I dragged the sled, which was you think about it, you're out of breath, you're tired. Dragged this sled, took care of the casualty. Then you were told hop in the water, take off all your gear, and then hop in the water. Boots, socks, everything still on. Just hopped in the water. The only thing we took off was our ACH helmet. ACH, our flick, our IOTV, and our gloves, and everything else just hopped in the water. I swam like halfway, then I had to ask for help. They said the swim was roughly 125 meters. Swam halfway, then I had to ask for help because I'm not the best swimmer. They helped me, and then they were like, "Do you want to continue?" I said, "Yeah." So they just paddled me over to the end of the lake. I got out. I was drained at that time. I was so tired at that time. I walked like maybe like 25 meters to this other part. They said you have 10 minutes to set up this radio and do a radio check. Oh man, I'm so upset with myself. I did not set up the radio in the time, which was in the 10 minutes. So anyways, I had to go to the next event, which was carry these 2 ammo cans 200 meters. Like the first 100 meters was up this steep hill, and then the last was kind of straight, like a straight away. But you're tired, you're exhausted at that point. You're wet, you're hot, you're sweating. It was rough. After that, after all the guys finished this, that event took like a total of maybe like 4 hours for everybody to complete, because there was like, everybody went roughly, first person started, and then roughly like 30 minutes after, the second person had to go, so that people wouldn't be running into each other. So that event was draining. After that, we ate MREs or whatever, had to get ready for that 12-mile ruck. So the 12-mile ruck started. Later on that day, they said you had 3 hours to complete it. And I mean, this was the hardest. Actually, I feel like my rucks in basic training were harder, to be honest. But the thing that happened in this ruck was that my body, like, it really gave out. Like, it just started cramping up. So once I hit, like, I was in the front of, I was doing so good at this point. I was on first place, like, on the leaderboard for all the E4s and below. Bro, I was on first on the leaderboard. Like, guys were, like, getting, like, damn, man. Like, they were giving up already, saying, yo, you're going to win, man. What's the point of even trying anymore? Now, I'm trying to be humble. I'm like, yo, man, it's okay, bro. You know, keep trying. But, of course, the competition, I want to win. So I'm doing everything I got to do. You know what I'm saying? That ruck took me out. Only 5 guys finished. I think 5 or 6 guys finished that ruck. One of them was a ranger. The other 4 were okay. It was like 7 guys. 4 of them were the Lithuanian soldiers. 1 was a ranger. The other 2 were 2 NCOs, which they finished it with like 1 minute to spare. And then the other was like a ranger. So if you get what I'm saying, that ruck march, and remember, it was like 18 of us total competing, or 19. So it really took out everybody. So if you didn't finish that ruck march, you got the amount of points that bro, are you coming over or not? You got your signal. I'm sorry, bro. I need to stop doing this stop talking when people are driving, or stop doing the speeches when I'm on the road. Anyways, I'm sorry, I kind of lost train of thought. Yeah, so that ruck march kind of took everybody out. So everybody's sore, everybody's banged up, and they brought chow to the barracks. Right after that, you know, we ate chow at the barracks. It was maybe like 8 or 9 at that time, and we had to be up at 02 to go to the land nav site at 03, because we did night land nav into day land nav. And the way how they had that set up was that you were given 15 points, all the points for the course. You were given all the points to plot, and you were allotted all the time, which was I think it was like 4 hours total. But like I said, it was night land nav into day land nav. So I ended up finding 10 points. I didn't go for all of them. I either found like 10 or 8, one of them. But some of the other guys that ended up finding all the points, it went off of time, because all the points, all the points were given a point value. So if you found one of the further points, it was worth 25 points. So it all came up to, like, in the end, you could have really found like 4 points and had like over 50 points. And if that was more than the other guy, then you ranked higher for that event. So anyways, land nav is pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to go in depth in it. Like I said, with night land nav, So we started at like 04 and we finished at like 08. So, you know, once like 6:30 hit, 06:30 hit, you know, was kind of sun was out. So at that point I just started running to try to find the rest of my points. All right, that was land nav, start of day 3. Then what happened after that was the medical lane. So that medical lane now, it was pretty physically demanding. They tried to say that it wasn't timed, but I think it was timed because some of the stuff that I got docked points for, I thought I did it perfectly, but I got docked points for some dumb stuff. So I don't know. Anyways, we had to walk around with a water jug. Overall, it was like roughly like 400 meters that you had movement for the whole event. So you were holding a water jug. You had to run and perform march, which is major hemorrhaging, massive hemorrhaging, your airways, your respiratory system. What C is like, what is C? Circulation, and H is what, like your head? I think your head. So we had to conduct